50 years ago, in June 1947, a very important event took place. The American civil pilot Kenneth Arnold, a highly esteemed businessman, landed at Akima Airport near Washington, very excited. In fact, a short while earlier, he had seen 9 enormous flying objects circle around and then disappear into space. Kenneth Arnold's testimony, which, related by a person as appreciated and esteemed as he was, cannot be denied straight out, and by all accounts, it was also Kenneth Arnold who gave the flying discs the name which we use today. That is, that he first made the comparison to flying saucers, hence the terminology. After Arnold's testimony, many other people, up until the moment in which they were silenced from fear of being taken as mad visions, affirmed that they too had seen flying discs in various conditions, flying in the sky and then disappearing. Since then, after 50 years, the flying discs have not abandoned the headlines, and it can be said that daily we receive information from important sources, pilots, radar operators, apart from normal people like ourselves. Notwithstanding this vast material and this publicity, we know little from official sources. The theme of flying discs is still an enigma, a secret. This video, as you will see, is an exception to this point of view. It consists of official conversation between the Italian Giorgio Bongiovanni, a stigmatist and contactee, and Russian high-ranking military officers. They met each other in a secret Russian military base, and there was an exchange of information. The Russian militaries told Giorgio Bongiovanni all that they could about the flying discs. They also gave him photographs, very important items, and Giorgio Bongiovanni spoke to them about his experience. We are therefore dealing with an extremely important document, a unique test which we are pleased to present. Giorgio Bongiovanni was obviously considered by the Russians the right person to have talks with at this level and to divulge such special material.
When the notorious stigmatist and contactee Giorgio Bongiovanni met the then president of the ex-USSR, Mikhail Gorbachev, on the 27th of May 1990, and asked him for permission to spread his message in that country, few, if anyone, would have imagined the developments that were to occur. After a series of encounters with various representatives from scientific, political and military backgrounds in February 1997, Giorgio Bongiovanni and his group produced one of the most important stages in modern ufology, a meeting with a military team that studied the UFO and extraterrestrial phenomenon on behalf of the Russian government. The historic encounter took place in the city of Tver, 200 kilometers from Moscow, in the Anti-Aircraft Academy of Defense, Red Flag. The civil delegation, led by Giorgio Bongiovanni, was made up of Professor Costantino Paglialunga, physicist, chemist and director of the newspaper Non Siamo Soli, We Are Not Alone, with Leonid Kandinsky as interpreter and Giorgio Bongiovanni's wife, Lorella Placidi, who has filmed this exceptional event. The military delegation, headed by the 3-star General Gennady Reshetnikov, was composed of Lieutenant Colonel reporting for the General Boris Sidorenko, Major Vyacheslav Boloshik, instructed by General Reshetnikov, in the role of specialist researcher into UFOs and aliens in Russia, and officially instructed by the military press of the Academy, directed by Mikhail Belov. The two delegations were constantly accompanied and assisted by Colonel Vyacheslav Zurkin, special agent of the Russian counter-espionage in Europe for the government agency FSB, known up until a few years ago with the more recognized initials KGB. This meeting took place after 3 long years of negotiations and eventually went ahead thanks to the extraordinary mediation work conducted by the Major of the Russian Armed Forces, Eugenio B., collaborator and personal friend of Giorgio Bongiovanni. But now let's leave the words to the protagonist of this historic event. Before starting our conversation, I would like to tell you that we are one of the most important schools, a military academy, one of the academies dedicated only to defence, where Russians and foreigners alike can study. You should consider yourself a guest on the occasion of the anniversary of the academy. If the other gentlemen are in agreement, I would like to consider you in this way. I thank you for giving me this great opportunity to be able to speak with you of the important events which are happening throughout the world regarding extraterrestrial presence, in other words, the presence of UFOs. The main attention of the UFOs is above all on the United States of America and on Russia. Above all. Have I understood correctly? Is this the situation? Yes, above all. The attention is on all humanity, but above all, could you please explain? The reason is that the United States and Russia have the most powerful nuclear reserve in the world, and combined with the other 5 superpowers, they, the aliens, are worried.
Penso che questa sia una cosa seria per attirare l'attenzione, diciamo così, degli UFO.
It's my opinion that the nuclear military program is something that attracts the attention of the UFOs. And I believe not only nuclear arms, but the general behavior of the states and the spiritual condition of states, like America and Russia, attracts their curiosity. Yes, I agree. I wish to ask you a question. As a military general, do you believe that these UFOs come from other planets? Are you sure? Are you certain? I think there is an influence. I have great respect for many researchers and scientists' opinion, also from Tver, who made me think that this is real. But above all, I have a personal intuition. I think that these powers do exist and influence us and expect something from us. I have information that the United States and Russian governments have been withholding physical evidence of the existence of flying saucers for 50 years. In your opinion, is this possible? Yes, I think this is possible. I was in service in the far east of Russia, and I took part in a conference about 15 years ago where a lot of foreign material was shown. In the USSR at that time, it was very rare to see any local material about UFOs, but there I personally know of some witnesses who have been affected by UFOs. Also during space missions. Do you know if the Russian government has assigned any military team to study this phenomenon? There was something on these lines. There are many different studies that the military scientists carry out. In the spiritual message I have received from the Holy Virgin and Jesus Christ, it is said that we are not alone in the universe, and that Jesus Christ not only came here, but has also been to millions and billions of other planets to bring the message of God. Many of these civilizations are much more involved than us because they were born before us and have recognized Christ. That's why they are able to reach our planet. You know everything about me and my experience, as well as I know who stands behind you. I know it very well. We must reveal this reality to the people. I understand that you can do it officially. But it is necessary to take the first step. I can help you. Is there a time limit to do this? Yes. Could you be more precise? In a few years, not many. If I understand correctly, in your opinion, there should be an official statement at government level. Revealing the truth about the visits, and the first step must be taken. Yes, the first step could be taken by Russia, I think. Russia could do it. I would be pleased if Russia did it together with the United States. You know, and I know, you know, that during the Cold War since 1947, the Russian and American governments have agreed on one thing, a pact of silence, about the truth regarding the extraterrestrials. This is only my personal opinion, but I think that such a declaration at an official level could provoke the same consequences of a UFO landing at the White House or at the Kremlin.
Portare alle stesse conseguenze che se un'astronave atterrasse vicino al Cremlino